Hey everyone, my name is Samantha and welcome back to Blacklisted Technology. Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be going over why it's important to be aggressive and ask for what you want.
So I wanted to share something when I was first getting into the tech scene. I was so excited about actually starting with getting my first job, and I actually asked this hiring manager what they would take, like a person who was just out of school with no experience, or somebody who had some experience but no schooling. And they said, of course, the person with experience, hands down. So that kind of gave me like an aha moment.
Yeah.
But then when I was in robotics, and I was in my championship over in Atlanta, Georgia. That was a really fun year.
Oh, wow. Great.
There was a really cool university that was at a booth talking about their cool program. Every 3 months, they'd switch from full-time work to full-time school.
That's right.
Yeah. So I was like, well, shit, maybe I could have my cake and eat it too.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Go between the two.
Yeah. So I guess I ended up going with them, even though, a lot of people are like, shit, that sounds like a lot of work,
Yeah.
But I went with that route, even though it was a lot more money. I was really feeling it, but it was worth it in the long run. And I actually ended up dropping out of that school, but it actually worked out because I had enough full-time experience to actually work in my field anyway.
Exactly.
So, and it looked like it was like 2 years of experience on paper. So I was like, all right, well, there we go. So then when I got into my entry level, I had the opportunity where I was like, okay, I've got to really go for what I want.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, there's a financial component of like, oh, there's actually my salary isn't negotiable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute, this is my first real gig. So.
And I think a lot of people don't know that your salary is always negotiable because especially when you're first coming in, you're like, I don't want to make anyone mad. I don't want to offend anyone by asking for more. So
yeah, totally. Especially like there's that imposter syndrome of like, okay, I haven't proven myself enough yet ever. I still kind of feel like that sometimes, but I have to be like, no, My sister taught me right too. She helped me. She mentored me a lot throughout my carear and had got my resume right. She had hired.
That's so nice.
I know. Yeah, it's really cool.
You're lucky.
She was like my clan aunt and sister all in one.
Exactly.
A career coach, all that.
Yeah. No, that's so nice.
Yeah, and she was really like, hey, if they're interested in you, ask for more.
Yeah.
And also it really helps if you're competing with two separate companies. Yeah. Especially in the tech field, like even with COVID, like there's a lot of opportunity there. So still go for it if you're in tech, especially, one of the more insulated fields, I guess. But yeah, it was like, okay, I had one company I really wasn't that interested in, and then I had GoDaddy over here that was like, we want you. Like,
and I think it helps more so when you do have two offers because it makes them more inclined to move quickly with the process and offer you more. So,
yeah.
No, I think that's really great.
Even if you can act as if somebody else wants you, I feel like that kind of helps. I mean, don't be immoral with it, but just kind of be like, hey, we got to kind of get this rolling so they know that you're in demand, No,
100%. I agree with that. And then back to your schooling that you went to, I think that's a great idea, especially for people who aren't sure whether they want to work or if they want to go to school, because you get the best of both worlds.
Hell yeah.
And even if you lost some money, you actually saved a ton of money because you didn't actually go to university for the entire semester. You just went for 3 months and were like, hey, this isn't for me. Or even, vice versa. If you wanted to work and then you're like, oh, I actually don't want to work, you get to dabble in it and see like what fits you best.
Well, yeah. And not only that, like, when you're first getting into your major, you may think you understand what the job entails.
Yeah.
But it's not until you actually get into the job that you actually understand what you'd be doing right after you get out of school. Yeah. Because a lot of times the courses don't actually match up to what the job description is.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
so then that's a severe disappointment to find out 4 years down the road.
Yeah. No, 100%.
What was I doing with my life?
100%. Especially if you were trained in everything to work in this career and you're like, oh, I actually don't like this at all.
Totally. Well. Sucks to be you, right?
No, I think that's great.
Yeah, but I mean, so what happened with GoDaddy, and I think it's really good to talk about real scenarios with money. I think it shouldn't be taboo to talk about. So I'm gonna put it out there. I don't care who sees this. It's all real knowledge. I was offered 60 originally verbally at GoDaddy. This other company, I don't even remember their name because I didn't care about them that much because they weren't working on that cool stuff, and I didn't really connect with the team very much. They were like, yeah, we could come in at like 65. And then the other one was like, oh, no, we're bumping it to 70. And I was like, okay, going with you.
Exactly.
And I was like really excited and pumped, but even if I didn't have that other one lined up, like what if, even just having that confidence of like, oh, I believe myself, like what could happen
here? You're in demand. Exactly.
I might be leaning to a different direction.
Exactly. And I think when you give off that confidence, it shows the employer as well. They're like, oh, something's different about this one. If they're having these many offers.
They actually care about themselves, but not like in a bad way. Like they respect themselves, and that means that they're going to respect you more. Yeah, too,
exactly. Now I'm going to go over, once you have a job, how to negotiate whether it's moving up or a higher salary. So this is something that I had to learn on my own. I know when I first started my career, I definitely didn't want to disrupt anyone or ask for more of anything. So I kind of just stayed quiet, but I soon found that in order to get where I wanted to be in life, I had to ask for it. You can't get what you will. Exactly. You cannot get what you want in life without asking for it. And I found that out at the first company. I started off in sales, and then I became the top agent at the company.
Wow. Yeah.
I wanted more within the company. I knew that being a sales agent wasn't going to be enough for me, and I needed to be, whether it's in leadership or owning a part of the company. So from there, I asked for my own office. I said, hey, these are my numbers. This is what I'm earning for the company, and this is what I want for my future. And it actually worked out great. I ended up managing my own office in Beverly Hills. So it was wonderful. Really grateful. But
that's awesome.
It was a great experience because I was able to coach people and see them from start to finish, whether it's like exciting. They've never done any sales to full-blown 10 20 deals a day. So that was great.
Well, and so how hard did you work to get those kind of results to even ask that? Like it's so, some people don't know where they need to be in order to ask, right?
No, 100%. So actually I'm kind of insane when it comes to working hard. I work very hard.
You truly are. Jesus.
I was working 5 a.m. to like 11 at night. I often wouldn't take breaks. I know that's not legal, but with smaller companies, it's definitely legal.
And we'll have another video about not killing yourself.
Exactly. No, and I definitely, it's important to like give it your all, but I think also building limits, which, I was so young. I was like 18 or 19. I didn't know that, I shouldn't work 12, 15 hours a day. So that's another, like we said, good lesson to learn. But, so in order to be asking for, compensation or asking for a higher position, you need to put in the hours. You can't just ask for that. And that's definitely something I miss to tell everyone. You have to work hard. You have to work harder than everyone else in the room. And that's how you get what you want. You can't ask for these things if you don't work for them, because then they're just going to brush you off. Be like, no, what are you talking about? So it gives you a lot of credibility because everyone within the company knew me as the girl who got the deals. So I think the credibility really helps, and working hard towards your goals.
Yeah, so try to be a role model is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, exactly. Role model.
You ask for more responsibility.
Exactly. And I think another thing that's extremely important is to give back. Even if you're, the top sales agent or the top engineer within the company, you need to be helping people who may not know as much as you, because that shows leadership to maybe the owners of the company or the CEO. That shows that you are able to teach everything that they need to know and learn from it in the future. So I think it's really important to give back and show that you're a team player, that you're not just like, oh, stuck up or anything.
Oh, yeah. You're not just like a cowboy or cowgirl that's, gone rogue.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And something I found for me that was extremely useful and it was wonderful to see was when I started coaching people, and they started doing what I was doing, they were getting the same results. So they actually,
that's awesome. You got to test it out with other people.
No, so they actually started to become, some of the top agents. So it was great to implement what I was doing within other people to then bring them to a new level. So
did that feel good?
I was like, okay, well, I'm like, if
that's
what
awesome.
I'm doing is working, I bet it would work for someone else. So
yeah. Totally. Well, and then also, I mean, the fact that you're reaching out to those people means that you care.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, just even if you're not that great at teaching somebody yet, at least you get your feet wet and, you get better at it with time. And just the fact that you're showing up for other people makes a huge difference.
Exactly.
Because that care is huge. Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. Especially even if you feel that you don't have enough confidence or knowledge to teach like other individuals in the company things, you can give so much more. Like you can just be like, hey, how are you? What projects are you working on? And offer feedback. And maybe it won't be like the perfect advice, but at least you're making that connection and communication where you're trying to build these relationships and grow within the company. And I think that's really important. And another thing that's really important in order to move up in your job is to have mentors and make relationships with people, because you're not going to get to the top by just hard work. You're going to need to know people, and you're going to need to step up your negotiation skills as well as convincing skills, because how you get far in life is by selling people the vision that you see for yourself in the future and letting them know that this is going to happen if you put me in this position. So I find that really useful. I know you had a couple mentors. So
a great mentor right now for me is our CTO, Jerry. He's been super pragmatic, and a lot of times people that are in positions of power or authority, like even if there's like a great divide of management between me and them, it feels like, okay, they're so far removed from the situation, but it seems like he's in the trenches with us, which is really cool.
Yeah,
building
that's
a bridge.
Wonderful.
So, but then, I mean, it's been like that at bigger companies as well. Like at GoDaddy, when I first got hired there, Mike Bovich, shout out to you if you've seen this. He was really a great mentor to me and believed in me. And Brad Figler, my manager there, like just asking them really dumb questions and being really candid with them in my one-on-ones was really important. But the other thing too is I realized, like, even before you start to give advice to others, is to actually ask them for their advice on something.
100%.
And people love to talk about themselves and how they would approach something too. But not that it's like you're manipulating or anything like that, but
it's
you
just
actually
like basic psychology.
You just want to be like interested in what they're doing too.
Exactly.
Not just me, So, yeah.
No, I think it's really important, especially when building connections, to make it a two-way street, because when you just talk about yourself and are asking for advice, it gets to a point where it could be kind of annoying. But then if someone's asking you, oh, so what about your life? What do you like to do on your free time? What projects are you working on? Then it builds more of, a relationship and a two-way street. So it's not just all questions and answers. So for this last part, I'm just going to speak about how important it is to ask for your proper salary and research what the base is within your field. It's extremely important to use the LinkedIn salary tool and see what the range as well as base is. Because when you're applying for new jobs, they're going to ask you, what salary do you want? And you need to be able to say the range for this position in the Phoenix area is anywhere from 60 to 120. Based off of my qualifications, I'm looking for 95. And by letting them know your base and standards, they know you did the research. They know that you're not just asking for a random number. So it's extremely important. If you're going to ask for more, you need to do the research and work hard. And I think that's really important. Do you have anything to close on that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my sister would always say, I would like to be paid for the the base range of my salary of this market. So Scottsdale, especially, like that's a little bit higher than Phoenix for us. And she knew her worth, man. You know,
you have to know your worth.
The number is the number.
Exactly.
And I mean, I feel like it's kind of similar to different like maintenance professionals, like plumbers. Like you know, if they're constantly in the business of haggling over their prices, they're actually gonna be in a race to the bottom. But if they just say the price is the price, and then if somebody says, nope, that's too high for me, they'll just walk away. And then actually what they are really sincere about, they've said, oh, this is exactly what boxes we've checked. Here's every single thing in your house. This is okay, this is not okay. And they just really spell it out for them. I just felt like my plumber was like awesome because they did all of that research for me, and it felt like they weren't BSing me.
Exactly. They provided the evidence for doing the research and saying these are the exact parts I need and this is my labor. So I think that's extremely important to know your worth. And for him knowing his worth, then he's not going to have to deal with clients who may be not worthy. And I think that's another important thing to talk about, especially during COVID. I know a lot of people are thinking, okay, maybe I should go for a lower salary to get in a position, which sometimes that's great, but sometimes that can work against you. Although during COVID, I do recommend, even if the position is lower and it's in your field, you should take it because it's better to work in your field and gain more experience rather than not to be employed during that time. And it may be hard in the beginning, but I think it's extremely important for the future to, you know, have that sense that this is what I need to do in order to get to the next step.
Yeah, and you know, if you ever feel stuck with that type of thing, whether it's trying to get into that salary range for an initial starting gig, or even if you're within a company and you're trying to move up in salary or raise during these crazy uncertain times, you know, just hang in there, and you know, the more skills that you build, the more of a future you'll have. Because like when the economy bounces back, you will be in high demand. You'll be higher demand than before, which translates to more money anyway.
Exactly.
So no matter what, by staying there, staying in it to win it, whether you're taking a lower salary or you are waiting to move up, you are going to be in a better position if you still do it, you know, still wait it out and go for it.
No, I think that's great. And another thing that's really important, like you said, is to be getting like certifications right now and learning more, because that's really going to help you. I actually see a ton of people on LinkedIn right now getting Salesforce certifications and Oracle. So I think it's really useful. You have the time, so mine as well. And you don't think about that right away. You're like, oh, I have time. What do I do? But then once it comes in your mind from someone else saying it, you're like, I should be getting more certifications.
Oh, totally. Well, and then also innovation. So if you're doing a project on the side and you know, this is a perfect time to do it because you're not going out, you know, what are you doing? And I think there's going to be a lot of cool innovation that comes out of this period. And I'm really excited to see it.
Yeah, me too.
The other thing too is shameless plug. I have a course called Solvestack where I'm actually teaching. I have 3 mentees that came last time, and I'm about to have 5 that come the next time.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's like really growing. And we're going to be meeting on Saturdays at 1:00, and I'm going to make it remote as well.
Perfect.
And my time is free. So the interactive course is not free, but you know, you're welcome to join the Zoom sessions, and we actually go over software engineering as I wish it was taught to me instead of struggling a whole bunch through my first couple of years at it. So stay tuned. Well, that's all we have for today, and thank you for tuning in. Happy coding.
Bye, guys.